Whenever I start making fun of cryptocurrency, there's always somebody who's quick to point at the stock market and say, yeah, well, the stock market's down too, huh? And I don't think that a lot of them understand that the stock market may have gone through a bumpy ride after the Federal Reserve claimed that they were going to raise interest rates. But the Federal Reserve, yeah, it does affect our interest rate. It absolutely does affect housing prices. But the damage that they did to the stock market, which is, by the way, post-pandemic and coming out of quarantine, um, it's nowhere near as bad as the damage that ultimately the fear has put into the cryptocurrency market, because a lot of people who were expecting to get rich by now, a lot of people who thought Dogecoin would be $1, and a lot of people who thought Shiba would be a penny for whatever reason, and a lot of those people who thought Bitcoin was supposed to be $100,000 because they kept being lied to. I don't think these people who criticize that aspect of the stock market, I don't think they understand that the stock market is far better for long-term gains and also long-term money accumulation than the cryptocurrency market has been. See, the problem is they want to point at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is worth about 45% of the entire crypto market, and that's 17,000 cryptocurrencies dominated by just one coin. So when Bitcoin goes up and down, that's the one everybody wants to talk about. And the reason why is because, again, it's the ultimate indicator, because it's worth almost half of what the entire crypto market is worth. The stock market isn't like that. Yeah, there are some big stocks like Google and Amazon and Tesla and Apple and whatnot, but the thing about it is they're not worth half the goddamn market. Those are relatively small when you consider Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway A alone, those are like what $450,000 per share. It's like these people, I don't think a lot of them understand, how the market actually works. But again, you're dealing with children who have Robinhood accounts, so that's just what it is. So anyway, every now and then I do this with my YouTube account. Now, people who are new here, because I notice I have a lot of new subscribers, and some people subscribe for my financial advice, some people just subscribe to watch me screaming out the window at Toyotas. I took $5,000 when the market crashed. What was it, March 2020, right? And when oil went negative, I bought oil stock in NBR, TTI. I bought a bunch of gas companies and so forth and so on. I've told this story 100 times. I made so much money in oil stock. Now, by the way, you guys right now are paying damn near $4 a gallon of gas. I was out yesterday. It took me $82 to get 20 gallons of gas in my truck. And the thing about it is we're paying so much money for gas until it's easy to see where all of my profits actually came from. So I want to actually, every now and then, I actually show you the losses that I've incurred. And I don't even really consider these losses. Technically, they say it's not a loss until you sell, because right now, some stocks, especially foreign stocks, are getting hit pretty badly. Ever since the Evergrande scandal, China's KNDI has been down, but as you can see right here, I still own 200 shares of it. And the reason why I'm down instead of being up in this portfolio is simply because I bought it at $6.87. Bottom line is, if you add up, and this is my gains column, if you add up all of my losses, it comes out to about $2,500. Actually, it comes out to about $2,486. But that's all of my losses right there. That's all of them for this portfolio. I took that $5,000, I invested in oil, and then I used a lot of the profit to fund this account right here. Whenever I wanted to buy new stock, I bought new stock. Some of you also pay attention to the fact that I cashed out about $10,000. $2,000 I bought an AR-15 rifle, and what is it, about $6,000 I'm spending to go to Dubai and Maldives this Easter. I already bought the tickets. I'm already booked up. So I'm basically, 67 days from now is my trip. So, for those people who tune in, I'm going to have a fresh video of Dubai, Emirates Airlines, business class, and I'm going to have a fresh video of Maldives. So that's just that. So I cashed out about $10,000. Otherwise, my account would be at about $40,000. But I wanted to capture some gains. So lately, because the stock market's been up and down a couple of points, I've been going between 32,000 and 29,000. Even right now, after hours, you can see it's up like 6 cents. When my dividends get deposited, what I do is I usually either cash them out and I buy more stock, or what I do is I cash it out and I put it back into my investor's bank account. So that's pretty much how my system works. I'm transparent here. I created this TD Ameritrade portfolio specifically to teach and to be transparent. Some people listen to me, some people don't. And you know what's so funny? If you go into any high school right now, a lot of these high schools are teaching personal finance because what it was the liberals kept on saying, oh, well, you didn't teach us about money when we were in school. Excuse me. There are people teaching you about money, and there are people just like me doing it for free. The problem is you're not listening. So if you're not, when you see a person who's on YouTube, who's giving out this type of advice, liking and sharing their videos is all you're really having to do in order to technically, quote unquote, pay them back. But for the most part, my videos about finances don't really get liked and shared. You know which videos do get liked and shared? It's the ones where I'm chasing Toyotas or chasing Hondas and screaming out the window. And that just tells you right there that, you know, YouTube, for the most part, it's all about entertainment. And unless people are just entertained, it's like you're not going to make the money on YouTube. Now, I've been making solid money on YouTube. And the YouTube money that I make, I usually take it and I reinvest it into stock. So usually you're talking about spending $2,000, maybe $2,500 every single month. And if I don't buy something cool like a GoPro camera or a airplane, a remote control airplane or a drone or something, if I don't spend that money on something cool, I'm usually just reinvesting it. For the sorry, it was cold outside. I'm sorry. Yeah, usually I'm reinvesting my YouTube money. So typically on YouTube, every single month, I'll make pretty much between $2,000 and $3,000, and that's it. So usually I reinvest that money into the stock market. If not, I reinvest about half of it. But for those of you who pay attention to me, I've told this story before. So if you count up all of my losses, and by the way, these aren't real losses until you actually sell. My marijuana stock is actually the majority of these losses, and the reason why is because some of these stocks I didn't sell. The ones that I sold, as you'll see, MCOA, I sold that because Reddit had pumped this stock up, and MJNA, you remember, if you look at my older videos, I used to have 10,000 shares of this, but when Reddit did those stock pumps and they did those what was it called, those short squeezes, that's when I decided to sell a lot of my marijuana stock. I made very good money selling my marijuana stock, but I decided not to sell it all, so I left a lot of it in there just to see if it would ever go back up and to see if I can make more money. But once again, if I started with $5,000, as you can see, I've earned about closer to $50,000. I've sold about half of that, and I've used it in my other account, and I've used it for vacations, such as if you were watching my show in 2019, I went with my girlfriend to Thailand. If you watched the video's there, because you know I'm fully transparent. Oh, by the way, Ramil Amir's back, thank God, because I need this guy to lay down the law. So anyway, if you look at I have a video of the real Bangkok. And by the way, when I was in Bangkok, yes, that's exactly what I was doing. I was banging my cock. That's exactly why they call it Bangkok. So I was with my girlfriend there, and this video only got 2,684 views. But I paid to go to Bangkok, business class on Emirates Airlines, because that's how I fly. I only fly business class because I'm like 6'6", and I'm a big guy, and I refuse to be back there with the peasants in the back. I can't afford first class because they're talking about like $20,000 and $30,000. I'm not paying that, but I'll pay the $5,000 or $6,000 for a business class ticket. So anyway, we were in Bangkok, and that was the video. That was one of the videos I made. That was this video. It's called The Real Bangkok. And if you also remember, I paid for my trip to Seoul using my what is it called? My some of my stock gains, and that was a fun trip too. And now I'm gonna add Maldives to it. Why the fuck isn't this loading? I don't know why. The internet's a little slow. Okay, yeah. So when I was in Seoul, I was with my little Chinese girlfriend, and we were having fun in Seoul. So this was a different time. So don't try to accuse me of cheating or nothing, because it was two different girls, two different times. Okay, that's her right there. So we were in Seoul, and we were having a good time in Seoul. I tried to get her to come to Maldives with me, but she couldn't, unfortunately. She didn't have enough, vacation time, because we get out in April, but they get their vacation during the Lunar New Year. They get like a week off of work or something. And I think they also have a National Day vacation. So anyway, if you ever want to watch those videos, this one only got 2,537 views. Nobody watched this. But what they did watch was they watched my Seychelles video, because I'm hitting all of the major tourist spots. I might do Bora Bora, and I'm gonna pay for that with stock gains. So if you look at my video, the real Seychelles, that'll show you, when I was in the Seychelles, and that was beautiful. That was a beautiful trip. It was a trip to Africa, so I finally got to visit Africa and everything. But yeah, I've been paying for my vacations using my stock gains. That's basically what it is. And if you ever watch this video got 153,000 views. And one of the reasons why I like getting touring videos, if you make a good tour video of a country, those videos will continue to collect YouTube earnings for a very, very long time. Because as you can see, I made this in 2015. The other video I made in 2015 was Dubai. Because I was in Dubai, and I was making deals to send them Dodge cars. I met people in Dubai. I have a couple of videos for car shopping, and I met somebody in a classic motor cars in Dubai. So I have this video. This video, 124,000 views, and it continues to accumulate. It continues to accumulate views, and it continues to accumulate money over this many years. This was 2015. So the next video, again, I'm adding business class Emirates post-COVID. So that's going to be a special video. And then on top of that, I'm going to add Maldives. And then maybe either next year or the year after next, I'm going to do Bora Bora. I was thinking about doing Argentina and Uruguay, because those countries are right next to each other. So if you go to Buenos Aires, you can go to Uruguay too. I don't know what the COVID situation is in Uruguay, and I'm not completely sure what it is in Argentina, but I might do that one. I might do a video on South America. A lot of black men who are traveling to South America looking for wives, they're going to like Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Brazil, but I'm just going to travel. So that's just that. So, the reason why, now I've already talked for like 13 minutes. The reason why I was making this video was specifically to show you, yeah, I have $2,500 in losses, but as you can see at right now, I have $2,900 worth of gain. And because I already cashed out money, I've already taken back my initial investment. And all of this, 29,362, is just profit. My other main account is Charles Schwab. And I don't share that one because that one's a lot more money. And to be perfectly honest, I don't want people begging me for money because they know what I've got. I really don't. I don't want people asking me for money, because when you're dealing with money in stocks, it's like it makes you kind of like Scrooge McDuck. It's like you save all your money. You don't want to spend much of it unless it's something you really want to do. So my thing is, those are my losses. It's about $2,500 in losses. But again, I believe that these are going to easily turn around. I don't give a shit if it takes 5 years. I don't care, because I have time. But now when you look at my gains and you look at those versus my market value, you can see oil is still kicking ass. I put $190 into SM oil, and right now, as you can see, I have gained 3,449 pre-tax, And Ford. A lot of people were asking me about Ford. Ford posted less than projected earnings, and Ford was down. As you can see, Ford went to the 52-week high of $25. It's down to 17. But you have to understand, just like right here with Chrysler, just like with all of the car companies, this is temporary. Right now, Ford is trying to build all of these brand new electric trucks, the Ford F-150, this, that, and the other. The problem is the chip shortage has hurt car manufacturers. I did a video yesterday. I took my barber's wife to Hyundai, and we were shopping for a car. They didn't have many cars in inventory. There were no Genesis G80s, GV80s. There were none of them. There were no GV70s. They have a GV60 electric car coming, which I'm going to do a video for because I like electric cars right now. They didn't have any. They don't have that out yet. That car hasn't been fielded. Most of these cars are suffering from the chip shortage. Anything technology related is suffering from the chip shortage. If you people really want to buy a dip, this is the dip that you should be buying, the tech sector. If you're buying the tech sector right now while the chip shortage is hurting them, and look at even Microsoft. Microsoft, I bought into Microsoft. I earned about $759. Now, this is not all the Microsoft I own because if you pay attention to my channel, I've been buying Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla. I've been in those, but that's my Charles Schwab. This account doesn't have enough money to fund those kind of stocks for the most part. So every time I get a little extra money, I flip it and I buy more. What I call my index fund is Mangoat. I'll show you that at the end. So these are my gains. My gains, $29,362. My loss is $2,500. So that's how I'm transparent. Not like these motherfuckers who are telling you to buy shitcoin and claiming that they got a Lamborghini, but you never see it. Or not like these guys who are talking about going to the fucking moon, and thus far they haven't even gotten onto a plane, and they're talking about going to the motherfucking moon. It's like I do my transparency totally differently. So anyway, quick story. 14 crashing stocks you may own are already in serious trouble. Gee, I wonder which. 14 stocks trading on the S&P 1500 index include healthcare place Spectrum Pharmaceuticals. I think I own Spectrum Pharmaceuticals. I think I have some of that in Robinhood, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check real quick. I think I own them. 1 second. 1 second. Yup, I fucking got them. SPPI. And you know what's funny? Spectrum Pharmaceutical, I have them. Yup, Spectrum Pharmaceuticals, they, from a 5-year high, they are down, what is this? From 24.33, they're down to fucking, what is it, 67 cents. Now, I didn't buy them at the high. I bought Spectrum Pharmaceuticals when I started a Robinhood account because, as you know, when you start a Robinhood account, they give you a free stock. And it just so happened that the free stock that I got was SPPI, so I just got into it. There's a little bit of money into it. I didn't lose any real money out of that. Sunrun, I don't even know who they are. What does Sunrun do? Sunrun, what the hell? I don't even know who they are. I think Sunrun's another Robinhood stock. Sunrun, where's the about? Sunrun getting close to technical benchmark. Clean energy. Yeah, a lot of these energy stocks got hit really badly. Meanwhile, oil stock is through the fucking roof. GameStop. Oh, you remember the GameStop people? You remember them? You remember when Reddit was trying to get you in on their short squeeze pump and dump scam? And people were stupid enough to buy into that shit, and I kept trying to tell people, don't do it? Oh, I'll never let you forget that shit. I'll never let you forget it. I was right, you were wrong. Have crashed more than 70% from their 52-week highs, says an Investor's Business Daily analysis. This means these stocks, which occupy the popular S&P 500 small cap 600, are erasing massive amounts of wealth. Yeah, maybe you should have stayed away from it like I told you. But I guess you didn't. So what? Oh, well. So, who are the hardest hit stocks? Well, first of all, GameStop, $102. Remember all those people who bought in at $300 because they thought it was going to 1,000? Remember all those people I kept trying to tell them? I kept trying to tell. I gotta look up that. Where's that video at? Where's that video at? What is it? GME, right? I kept trying to tell them. Where did I do it? Where did I do it? GameStop. GameStop. I made so many videos talking that shit down because as soon as I saw it, I knew it was a fucking pump and dump. Ah, yes, GameStop crashes to $53. GameStop pump and dump 2021. I distinctly remember myself criticizing this shit. Manscaped. All right, what was this? And then by selling as that stock is hitting whatever high it's going to hit. But the moment that you see the government get involved, that's when it's time to get out of it. Because when the government gets involved, that's when it's going to shit. And that's the simple truth. That's just what it is. And that's how the market really works. When the government gets involved, it's time to run. Well, is people buy all of their games on digital download. Never had this shit stop. Like you go to Walmart. People are able to cash out, like our buddy who was able to pay off his student loan debt, and somebody is going to ultimately end up losing money and holding the bag. Well, hey, you can watch the video yourself. I done said it. So guess what, guys? If you are out there listening to the sound of my voice and you lost money in GameStop and you haven't thrown yourself out a window yet or otherwise terminated yourself, well, glad to still have you on board. So, GameStop was one. Spectrum Pharmaceuticals was one. These are the hardest hit, basically. Healthcare, tabula rasa, negative 85%. Goddamn. Spectrum Pharmaceuticals was negative 85.7, so I think they won as being the worst. Select Proto Labs. It looks to me like there were a bunch of healthcare startups and green energy, and it looks like those basically took the majority of losses. So if you own any of these stocks, yes, you've lost money. NP, Indo International, I actually have NP, and that was negative 72.6%. In fact, where is it? And it was doing, wait, you know what? Do I have NP or is it Indo? I thought I had NP. Maybe I don't, or maybe I have it in a different portfolio. All right, yeah, I think I had that in a different portfolio. Either that or I sold it, or I closed the position. I think I probably closed the position, and the reason why, again, it's because those assholes at Reddit were doing a pump and dump, and as soon as I saw them dumping, I started dumping, and I made my money and I got out, and then I'm buying fucking vacations and shit while they're still here counting all that money they lost. Those who didn't end up, being sued and in court. GameStop, negative 71.5%. All I can do is shake my head at that. Organogenesis. Most of these are healthcare, if you notice. See, the problem with healthcare that you have to be careful, just like in that movie Boiler Room, it's really easy to make lots of big promises about like new drugs, and it's easy to make big promises about new procedures. The problem is when it comes time to actually deliver, when it comes time to actually, deliver on those products, and that was one of the issues that I had, because I told you to buy CTIC when it was like only a couple of pennies. It was like 40 or 50 cents. And at the same time, I also told you to buy AIM Immunotech, right? Now, CTIC, as you can see, I only paid 84 cents per share. And I still have a gain of $236 on it. And I bought CTIC and AIM at the exact same time. Those are both biotechs. And as you can see, CTIC had gone up to $4.13. I originally had bought CTIC back in 2012, and when I bought it, it was like $2, and it ran up to like $25 or $26. That's the reason why I knew about that stock, and that's the reason why I trusted it. AIM Immunotech is down. I'm down about $320, but I've got so much money at this shit, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to just wait and wait and wait, and when AIM comes out with a new drug or whatever it is, I'll just wait, because what are they doing? It says AIM Immunotech, Ampligen, safety data presented. And by the way, COVID-19, see, the scary thing is COVID-19 drove a lot of investment, and a lot of that investment was malinvestment. COVID-19 had every investor thinking that they could just put their money into drug companies. When Trump came out and talked about hydroxychloroquine, Sanofi's price went up. When he was talking about remdesivir, Gilead Sciences, their price went up. The problem is a lot of this investment was malinvestment because ultimately the winner was actually Pfizer and the winner was like AstraZeneca, and there was a couple of winners, but the bottom line is people were throwing their money at these biotechs. Meanwhile, I was telling you to throw your money at oil. So as you can see, oil won. Right now, you're paying motherfucking $4 a gallon of oil. So yeah, oil won. Another company that was biotech that I told you about years ago, this might have been one of the first ones I told you about, was BLOZF. This actually had a run-up. I'm still up on Blows-Off, even in this portfolio, because I have this in both my portfolios, because I bought at different times. I have 1,000 shares. I'm up $296 because I bought it at 25 cents, as you can see. And Blows-Off is making cannabis breathalyzers that can detect if you're smoking weed. So when the cops pull you over and they think you're high, they're going to shove one of these into your mouth and they're going to tell you to blow. And if you blow whatever, you're either getting arrested or you're going to get a ticket. And that's why I knew they were going to do well. That right there is why I knew they were going to do well. And let me tell you another stock that I want you to know about. Wrap Technologies. Wrap Technologies. Wrap Technologies right now is $2, but these people might someday end up, and don't quote me on this, but they might end up being the next Taser. Who is Wrap Technologies? Wrap Technologies they've got body cam video of this bowler wrap. These motherfuckers are kind of like when the Avengers, you know how the Avengers, how some of the heroes have like bowlers and shit, and they shoot a net around your ass? Well, these guys at Wrap Technologies, these guys are making, for high schoolers and mentally ill people, they have decided that tasers might be dangerous because some people get abused with the tasers. Let me see. And they are building fucking bowler guns, or I don't even know what you call it. And what you can do is you can shoot somebody with this shit and it wraps them up. It's not even a taser. Wrap Technologies is like worth $2 a share. And these motherfuckers are shooting bowlers at you. And these things wrap your ass up and drop you to the ground because you can't run because you're tied up. Like Spider-Man. This is some shit. Did y'all even know about this? These guys are shooting spider webs at you. Bowlers. And now you've got these police departments, Jonesboro Police, they want to consider these things as a possible less than lethal technology so that you could shoot people like Spider-Man and wrap them up and they'll be laying on the ground and they can't move. What movie was that? Because see, everything comes back to a movie. What movie was that? The Running Man. The Running Man airport scene. Everything we're living through right now comes back to 1980s Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Everything. Let me see. Where is it? In The Running Man, he was at the airport. Okay, so I'm looking for him because they might have taken it down. But The Running Man, if you watch The Running Man, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Arnold was running, and when he was trying to escape, damn, I wish I could find it. I don't think they have it. The Running Man capture, maybe? Let me see scene. Because he was trying to sneak through the airport, and then they used a bowler gun on his ass, and they trapped him. And I can't find it. But if you have access to watch The Running Man, you really need to see it. It's a great movie. Let me see. Airport scene. Maybe there's a photo of it. Yeah, I really love that. The Running Man. Shit. I guess they don't have it. Damn. Anyway, watch The Running Man. You'll see what I'm talking about. They don't. They don't have it. They don't have it. That was a great movie. But So anyway, I believe that rap technologies, because of this less than lethal nonsense and how you got all these fucking liberals who want to save the lives of these mentally ill people who are pushing people on train tracks and killing them, well, it's very possible that this might end up being the next taser. Not only that, there's more of a chance of this making its way into high schools and elementary schools. There's way more of a chance of this getting in there than a taser, because no parents are going to let you tase their kid, no matter how wild and crazy and how the kids are beating up each other and fighting. No parents are going to let you tase their kid without trying to sue for money as opportunists. But what I'm seeing is this bowl of shit. You might be able, if you're a school safety guard, you might be able to be like Spider-Man and you shoot them all over with spider webs and shit, and you'll be able to wrap them up, and the parents can't sue because technically it's their kid's fault. Like the kid will be running away from the school safety guard, and they're gonna end up like that. They're gonna end up tied up and shit because Spider-Man's shooting the webs. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it comes down to. It all comes down to sci-fi movies. That's what it all comes down to. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, Rap Technologies is worth $2.64, and as you can see, in its 5 years, it's down from 10. But right now, I would say this might be. I was looking at this last night. This actually might be the bottom, because even if you look at it over its max, it started out actually higher if you look at its max, and it's been down here for a while. So this is probably the lowest it's been. This might be something worth getting in on. I think I would be willing to commit a couple of dollars to it. I might even be willing to do what I did with Blows Off and buy 1,000 shares. I mean, yeah, it's going to be $2,000. But when you're looking at less than lethal technology, this day and age, when crime is escalating and shooting people is not politically tenable, well, this just might be where you want to be. You know, so that's just my recommendation. But anyway, these were the stocks that were the hardest hit. If you're in any of these, you've lost over 70% of your money. So why do I say all this? I say this to say that the thing about it is, again, for 2022, anytime I make one of these videos, you can bet that I'm focused on long-term investment, dividend-paying stocks for long-term investment. And ultimately, I'm focused on hedges against inflation. And as far as I can see, the only real hedge against inflation is not Bitcoin. Goddamn sure ain't Bitcoin. And it's also not gold. It's real estate. Most of these houses are not worth the money that they're demanding. However, the land that those houses are on might be. So it's kind of like you're buying land and you're actually getting the house for free. How much are you willing to pay to buy land? Think about it. If you buy land that has a piece of shit, garbage, tear down house, you could tear down that house, and if you have enough money, you could build a new house where that old house stood. And all of this is financeable for less than 3% right now. So you can end up having a mortgage that's cheaper than most people's rent. Not only that, you have more space, and you have a house. You're paying money that you would normally be paying anyway. If you got to live somewhere. So unless you're living with your mommy in her basement, or unless you're living with your daddy in his attic, it's like you got to pay somebody. So my thing is, you might as well own some damn property. I got 2 houses, boy. I'm trying to get a third. I think 3 houses is enough for me. Right now, the market around here has absolutely dried up. If there is a real estate crash, I will use that as an opportunity to buy a third house. So a lot of the money that I've accumulated, I'm just going to leave that, collecting barely any interest it collects. And that's just it. When I die, I'm going to die with 3 houses, and I'm going to leave those to my kids, and they're not going to have to pay rent because daddy works so fucking hard. You know? All they're going to have to do is keep my houses up. Because I swear to God, if they fuck up my money, if they fuck up everything that I inherited to them, it's like I'm going to haunt them motherfuckers. I'm going to get them in their sleep. So, what is this? Cash out refinance as well as Fargo, blah, blah, blah. It's not, the information really isn't anything new, But what they're talking about ultimately is the fact that there are people right now who are rushing to refinance, and they're rushing to refinance because the Federal Reserve put out information that claimed that they were about to raise the rates. Let me tell you something, and I've said this before, and this will be the last thing I say. If you go to the national debt calculator, you'll understand that they ain't raising the rates at all. They're not. They might raise it a couple of percent points, 0.20, 0.30. They ain't raising this. And the reason why is because you see this $30 trillion national debt? Our national debt has exceeded, when you factor in all the unfunded liabilities like the pensions and the healthcare and everything, we have exceeded 150% of our national debt. Where our GDP has been exceeded by this national debt. They can't raise interest rates. Keeping interest rates where they are at zero, practically, is the only way that this government doesn't default on its loans. If this government tries to raise interest rates, this government will default on its loans. America, because we're the reserve currency, the dollar, we are, what is it called? We are the cleanest shirt in the hamper. America is the cleanest shirt in the hamper. This is the world debt clock. If you look at all the countries in the world, you understand the reason why most of these other countries can raise rates. It's because they aren't hurting like we're hurting. UK only has $3 trillion worth of debt. India only has almost $3 trillion worth of debt. These countries did not start printing money willy-nilly. These countries do not run massive military deficits. China, 10 trillion. America, 30 trillion. Look, and these are all in order. Canada is only 1.8 trillion, but there's less people in Canada, I believe, than there are in California. California has more people than all of Canada, because Canada is mostly a cold fucking forest for the most part. It's a very cold forest. All of the rest of these countries don't have that much debt. They really don't. Because most of these countries, they can't run these deficits because they're not built on service sector credit. Our country is. Once you understand this national debt clock, you understand the reason why the government can't raise the interest rates. So am I worried about them suddenly changing the mortgage rates to over 3%? The answer is no. Is it possible that they could raise rates? If they do, it's going to be very small amounts, very, very small increments. When I was a kid, interest rates were 10%. I had a Republic National Bank account collecting 10% interest. Right now, interest is 0.05. People like Jerome Powell, those people get paid to lie to you. I don't get paid to lie to you. Now, if they want to start paying me millions of dollars to start lying, oh shit, well, just come and contact me on my phone. But that's not what happens. I don't get paid to lie. These people, your government gets paid to lie to you. And that's why they're all trash.